I have to admit that without the clones, it would not have been a victory.
Victory? Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The Clone War has.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey guys, welcome to Kessel Run Weekly. My name is Kristen.
And I'm Danny.
And today, got some fun stuff to talk about. Last week, we wrapped up SDCC. Lots of cool Star Wars stuff came out of that. We got a lot of publishing. So you want to start us off with that, Danny?
Absolutely. So as far as, because they had the Lucasfilm Publishing panel, and they released a lot of stuff, like announced a lot of stuff. So we're getting, first off, novel-wise, Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston. So E.K. Johnston is the author that did the Ahsoka novel. For those of you who may not know. So she's doing one called Queen's Shadow that is focused on Padme.
Yeah.
And her becoming queen and dealing with being a queen and stuff like that, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, because so far throughout the movies, we don't get... we get a little bit of her queen era, but we don't really get any background to it other than that we know that Padme's young. And Padme gets elected queen at a fairly young age.
Oh, yeah.
And we know she's a good queen because we learn in... and actually, it's something we're talking about a little bit, that she wanted, people were willing to change the vote to get her reelected, essentially, because they liked her so much. So we know she's good at what she did, but we know we just didn't get much on, I guess, the struggle of being queen. I'm not sure if that book's going to be about this or not, or if it's going to be more so about, I don't know, just things that happen when you're royal, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating at this point. But
the socialite side? No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much. I don't know. You can't imagine it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy all the time. So
we're gonna have the Naberries like the Kardashians.
Yes.
Padme and her family.
Yes. No, Danny. Gosh. Cut that out. We don't want to mention them.
Anyways, but moving forward with the publishing, because we do have a lot of it to announce. Master and Apprentice by Lost Stars author Claudia Gray, talking about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan before Phantom Menace, which I'm really excited about, because we don't get a whole lot of Qui-Gon.
We don't. Very little Qui-Gon. All we know is Qui-Gon likes Annie. Qui-Gon recruits Annie. Qui-Gon dies. Okay, there's probably
pretty much it.
there's a little bit more.
We'll learn a little bit about him in the movie that we're going to be talking about today, but yeah,
very little,
very little,
very little.
Some.
But yes.
So there's that one that I'm really excited about, because I always love the Master and Apprentice dynamic and everything. I really enjoyed the Obi-Wan and Anakin Marvel comic. It was I think it was a 4-issue series, or maybe 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but it was really short run, meant to be. And it was talking about Obi-Wan and Anakin as he was much younger and everything, learning how to be a Padawan, stuff like that, which was really cool.
Oh, maybe that's what I should read, because I think we had mentioned that at one point, or I did, saying something along the lines of we didn't really get that heir, Anakin. We got him really young, and then we got him 10 years later with Padme.
Yeah, it fills in a little bit. It's pretty interesting. I don't remember a whole lot about it since it's been a while since I've read it. But it is a younger. It's in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, I believe, because he is younger.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I for sure will revisit this. Stay tuned.
Could we expect a review from you?
Maybe, if you play your cards right.
Well, speaking of the comics, on top of the 2 novels that were announced, we have got a ton of comics from publishers like IDW and Marvel coming up too. So Marvel's doing a series where it's a 30 comic massive thing.
Holy
where they're doing
cow.
Age of Republic, Age of Rebellion, and Age of Resistance. Age of Republic starts off with, and I didn't tell you this before the show because I wanted your true and honest reaction. Qui-Gon's getting his own comic.
Okay.
Come on! I was more excited about that. I thought you'd be more excited.
I'm Qui-Gon.
I love Qui-Gon.
I will find you. And I will kill you, Darth Maul.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you'd be more excited about it. But yeah, Qui-Gon's getting one, and then they're telling another Maul story.
Yay!
There's the reaction I was looking for.
I'm not a fan of Qui-Gon. I'm just
Really?
like, I mean,
Okay.
he's okay, but I mean...
I like him. He's the rogue Jedi. He's the one that, like, I mean, he may not... I mean, he's probably as close to gray as anybody would ever say, even though gray Jedi are not a thing. But, I don't know.
Cough, cough.
But I love him. I love Qui-Gon. But in addition to that, so IDW is doing a Vader's Castle theory, or not theory, a series. Sorry, I'm tired. Vader's Castle series. Almost did it again. It's like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing, but it's like everyone is. It's supposed to be like a haunted, like creepy thing. I don't know. That's what I gathered from this. But I mean, Vader's Castle. I'm down for anything there. It sounds really cool.
I didn't know Vader had a castle.
Yeah, on Mustafar from Rogue One.
I didn't know it was a castle.
I mean, it's as close to a castle.
I thought it was
as
like
you're gonna
a
get.
lava fortress.
That's probably more accurate.
Thank you. Let's rename it.
Well, speaking of the lava fortress,
Yes.
in Marvel, so you
Yeah.
know the Darth Vader series that's been ongoing as it is now.
Yeah.
Charles Soule, who's currently writing it,
Yeah.
he's taking Vader to his lava castle.
Yes.
So, lava fortress. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Or is it lava castle?
It was lava fortress.
Lava fortress. Okay, I want to make it. I want to get it right.
Let me write it down.
Lava fortress. So yes. And then we're getting some solo stuff. So they're going to be. It's a solo mini series. Beckett's getting his own one shot too.
Oh, Beckett.
Which I'm not really excited about because I really didn't care for Beckett in Solo. But
They're gonna have to like butter him up real good to make me want a piece of him again because he was. I'm not pleasant with him anymore.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be an interesting story, or maybe it'll be just like the Phasma story and waste of time. Who knows? But
Phasma didn't have to be a waste of time. We're not going down that road again. It's an awful road, and it makes me so mad. We're just not going down it.
Moving on. So, something else that actually has been announced for a while, but I know that you were excited about it when I told you about it. So, Amy Ratcliffe is coming out with another book. Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, her first book, actually.
Her first book. Congrats, Amy. So yeah, I'm actually when we talked about this, I was like, hold up, what'd you say? Repeat. So it's supposed to be Women of the Galaxy. From what I gathered of it, it's supposed to be about a lot, like 75, I think, was the exact number that they gave for how many women. It's going to be women that are in comics, movies, the shows. I mean, we're going to get like Aiden too, the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's not in the movie. She's in the game. We're supposed to get her, supposed to get Maz. And I think there's supposed to be some cool art that comes with it. And you said something cool about it too that I just am not recalling, but you were talking about kind of what it's supposed to be about with the women, like little snippet kind of things or something.
So it's basically celebrating the women of the galaxy. So it's doesn't matter if they're a hero, villain, Jedi, Sith, anything like that.
You said it so well.
Right? I practiced. No, I'm just kidding.
You're reading it. No, just kidding.
But it doesn't matter if it's hero, villain, or anything like that. It's celebrating all of the women. So we could get Asajj Ventress in there and everything, which would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
So I do know you like Asajj.
I do.
So
I
yeah,
wonder if we'll get Mother.
Ooh, I would imagine. Mother Talzin.
Mother Talzin, who talks kind of like... No, oh, never mind. I was trying to like do it, but then there's like a man voice behind that's like, I hear you.
It's the creepiest voice
It
in
is
Star
like
Wars.
it really is like just like not even chills. It's just like scary.
But yeah, but that's the publishing that we are excited about that was announced here at SDCC just this past weekend. Additionally, we got some other minor news out of SDCC.
Yes,
I mean it was kind of a big deal, right?
I mean,
It wasn't like people have been trying to save the Clone Wars for the last 10 years or anything like that, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a thing. I mean, I thought it ended pretty well.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm not really sure why they even feel like it needs to come back. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, how long can we hold this bit?
I was trying, and it got stupid, so I had to stop.
So y'all, the Clone Wars has returned.
It has.
I am so freaking excited.
All right, Rex. What's so important that you brought us all the way back here?
Hello, Master. It's been a while.
So it's going to. So first off, I want to talk about the 10th anniversary panel. So I haven't watched the panel footage yet or anything, but everything I've gathered from the people who were there, basically Dave like trolled everyone. Like Amy Ratcliffe actually was the one
Dave.
who was moderating it. She was the host of it and everything, and she didn't even know that it was returning. So they got an honest reaction from her. Apparently, Ashley Eckstein was crying. There's a picture of Matt Leonard jumping out of his seat, like, yeah, and everything, like, just true emotion. It didn't get leaked. No one had a clue it was coming back. Like, everybody was just like, oh, maybe they're just going to announce the box set or something like that. Which, I mean, would make sense. It's a 10-year panel. So, I mean, you're not going to expect nothing out of it. But Dave Filoni is a notorious troll. Trolled us at Star Wars Celebration and got a lot of us at SDCC this year. But he brought in a trailer that had, from what I understand, was the first Clone Wars trailer ever before it premiered and everything, and they had to go digging through the Lucasfilm archives for it and all that kind of stuff, and everybody's like, oh, this is cool, oh, maybe they're just announcing it. And then all of a sudden it says, a war left unfinished until now. And, like, everything that I've heard of the audio in the room and everything, like, people just lost their minds. I teared up.
I know. I did too. I think I actually cried a little bit when we watched the trailer together. I had chills, especially when we got to the end and we saw, like, what was so important, Rex.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm ecstatic. I probably would have been the person, like, at SDCC, like, rolling on the ground, like, like freaking out.
Hysterical.
Like, no, I didn't
console that woman.
I had the lady like running through the building with like her hands there. They're like, the Holy Ghost got her!
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. But I would have been freaking out like hardcore. I'd been freaking out. People would have been like scared that I was having like a panic attack next to them or something because I'd been like,
you would have been the rabid fan.
I would have. And people would have been like, oh god, maybe we don't need to sit next to her in the next panel, honey. She scared me.
Well, and so one thing that I didn't know, so apparently, like, the way that everybody camps out at SDCC, they don't clear the room for the panel. So you can actually, like, go to the hall that you... So, that, like, Hall H is the big one that Marvel announces the things, all that kind of stuff. So you could actually go and camp in Hall H all day long. You just have to listen to all the panels before it in order to have a seat for the panel that you actually want. So you're not having to stand up in line all day long. So, which is kind of weird, but I've never been to SCCC, so maybe it just works. But apparently there was like a Blade Runner VR panel before this or something like that. And one podcast I was listening to, one of the guys that was there, he was like, yeah, there was maybe like 4 people there for the Blade Runner, and maybe like some Star Wars fans that were like, yeah, totally Blade Runner, and then the rest of the room was just solely Star Wars. Like, you're seeing like Clone Troopers, Ahsoka's, like, cosplayers, just Star Wars all over the place.
Bless them! Bless Blade! That is so
all
funny.
these people came for Blade Runner? Oh, wait, what's next, guys?
Oh, wait, they're all wearing Star Wars shirts. Never mind. Maybe next year.
Hey, you still got the exposure, so there you go.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's one way to look at it, but...
Just
Lord.
put the lesser-known things that, you know, you're not going to have a big turnout right before the big things, and just scoot them on in there. Hey guys, you know this is coming. Go ahead and get in there. It's a Blade Runner VR.
Oh my god.
But yes, so I'm extremely excited for Clone Wars. # Clone Wars saved. It'll be a 12-episode series coming out on the Disney Direct service. So long, Netflix. Which I think is theorized to come out next fall. So 2019 is going to be the year of Star Wars.
Lit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lit.
But yeah.
Lit. Oh, sorry. It's gonna be lit though.
But yeah, so so what are some things that you want to see in Clone Wars coming up?
So let's just walk through that trailer real quick because you've all seen it. Don't play. If you hadn't seen it, get off our podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. We love you. Go watch it though, for real, if you haven't. So we got the ship flying in. We got Obi-Wan, Anakin getting off, random dude man that you said you figured out who he was finally.
Yeah, he's one of the Bad Batch. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Bad Batch clone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll call him BBC for now. He's a Bad Batch.
We're not calling him that.
He's totally BBC. He's
We're
fine.
not calling him
He's
that.
BBC. You leave it alone. All right, so we got Obi, Anakin, and BBC hopping off the plane at LAX.
Oh no!
Because Rex called him again. This is great.
I love how you're discovering these things as you're just telling it.
I know, so good of a storyteller I am.
Remember that rabbit hole we were telling you about, guys?
This is it. Welcome to Kristen's Rabbit Hole, featuring Kristen. That was really good, though. I can't stop laughing at myself. And so we get them walking in. A lot of cool scenes. Nothing that I really recognize off the bat. And once they all walk in the room, you have Rex, and then Anakin's like looking all crazy looking, honestly.
He's Revenge of the Sith.
I don't care who he is. He just looks so crazy. He needs to get a haircut. Obi-Wan's got one. Why can't Anakin follow suit there? Cut your hair, boy.
Canon, man. Revenge of the Sith, he's got long hair.
Ugh. Whatever. This must be why Kylo wanted long hair too.
To be just like Granddaddy.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, though. So then he walks in. He's like, "What's so important, Rex?" And then guess who we see? Ahsoka! Oh my god, y'all. I was losing it as soon as I saw it was Ahsoka. And it's older Ahsoka. So this is like after she leaves the Jedi Order. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you didn't know that. She gone. She left him. Mm-hmm. And she's with who? Bo-Katan. Or Katan. Katan. We said that last time. Yep. I need to write that down. I write everything down. With Bo-Katan. And I don't know, where did we say? We talked about it for a hot second. Honestly, it was probably so adrenaline rush that I honestly don't remember much. We talked about where this fell between the movies, and we said this was between...
This is likely leading into the events of Revenge of the Sith. So where Siege of Mandalore takes place is actually during Revenge of the Sith. Because Anakin drops off some of his clones from the 501st with Ahsoka, and they become the Ahsoka troopers and everything, the 332nd. But he drops off some of them with him, and he and Obi-Wan are called away, or I think he's called away. I'm not sure if both of them are. But one of the others called away because the Emperor is being attacked. And this is the part where Mace is coming up to him, trying to arrest him, and all that kind of stuff. So literally, this is the last time that Anakin is Anakin. After that, he becomes Vader and fully realizes what he's destined to be and everything, which is really sad. But yeah, so this is what's called the Siege of Mandalore. There's actually an excerpt, very quick read, in Ahsoka, the novel, not the person, the novel.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
It's like the first few pages. It's just really, really cool, and it talks about Ahsoka facing down Maul. So it's highly, highly likely that we're getting Maul again, which is really exciting.
Which will be cool, too, because I feel like we need this, too, because this is going to kind of lead into what we... it will, actually. This will lead right into Solo. Won't it? Or, pretty darn close, anyway. If it's not right at it, it'll be like... Because, at the point that we see...
Within some years, yeah.
Well, yeah, in some years, because,
it still fills in a gap that we didn't previously know, because we don't know what happens to Maul after Palpatine, other than what we see in Rebels and Solo.
Exactly. So that's what I'm hoping this might... it's got to fill in some of that gap, because this has got to be... especially if we think we're going to see Maul. Because like we just said, the last... We did the, the Maul arc, kind of. And like you said, the last time we saw him was when...
Palpatine handed his butt to him.
Yeah, when Palpatine approached him, it was like... Boy, you ain't playing no games today. And, took him with him, essentially. And then, we don't see him again until he meets Obi-Wan in the desert. Well, a little bit before that. we kind of see him when he starts
you get him
messing
when he
with
meets Ezra for the first time on Malachor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget about that. Yeah, we got that little snippet of him too.
Old Master.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be the Maul we're going to see after Palpatine gets done with them up until he meets Ezra, kind of. Or like, right before that.
Oh, it'd have to be.
You know what I mean? Like before Rebels, obviously.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so we'd get... Because the way Palpatine left it, I feel like he just kind of was like, I still have use of you, so he didn't dethrone him. He didn't take Mandalore away from him, because in the Siege of Mandalore, the excerpt that we do have from the Ahsoka novel, he's still in power. They're just trying to take Mandalore back. So yeah. So that's what's going to be really, really exciting. So it still fills in more of his story, and we find out a little bit more maybe where he lands in relation to Solo. So yeah.
I like Maul's story, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just excited for more Clone Wars.
I'm excited.
I cannot believe that it's back.
Oh my gosh.
It still feels like a dream.
Yes, and honestly, y'all, I'm more excited about Ahsoka than anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
more Ahsoka.
I mean, I love adult Ahsoka too. Like, she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We get her in Rebels. Closer to the end, though, I think, right? We don't get her really closer to the front or anything. She becomes
season 2.
The Fulcrum.
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, in the Ahsoka novel, that's when she becomes Fulcrum. She meets Bail and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's her leading into Fulcrum. So she's already Fulcrum when Rebels starts. Just nobody knows it.
Oh, she just hasn't revealed herself.
And so
to them
season
yet.
2 is when she reveals herself, and then she faces down Vader and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Okay. I need to go back and, once we finish Clone Wars, that's what we're working right now.
Yes.
I need to go back and watch Rebels.
Absolutely. Naturally.
And then we'll just start the movies all over again.
Of course.
And we'll hit replay.
'Tis the life of a Star Wars fan.
It is. It is.
So cool. So that wraps up our news for the week. So sorry that we weren't able to get a reaction podcast out for the Clone Wars saved thing. But we definitely wanted to include it in this podcast because this podcast is about the Clone War. And not necessarily the Clone Wars animation, but if you're ready, are we ready for our main event?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right.
So cool. So guys, this week we are talking Solo and the Attack of the Clones.
And now, our feature presentation.
Attack of the Clones.
Is that the official theme?
Yeah.
Copyrighted and everything?
Yeah, totally copyrighted.
So first impressions of Attack of the Clones.
People probably be making a little cringy face at me when I say this, but so far, Attack of the Clones is probably one of my top movies, other than
Really?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Because to me this one's really action packed. We get a little love in it. I like that, even though, which is terrible too. Sorry.
I have no idea what just happened to you.
I know. I just had a reaction to something I was about to say. It just didn't come out of my mouth yet. So even though, I'm always about Anakin, I'm always about Vader, and I'm always like, oh, I just want more Anakin story, even though we did get a good bit of Anakin story, really and truly. I just realized how much I like Anakin in Clone Wars more than I like him in the movies.
Oh, yeah.
He's very whiny, his,
Well, he's a kid. He's a teenager. So in Attack of the Clones, he's 19. So, I mean, he's still that teenager whiny.
He is. I mean, as I said,
why
that's
won't
why
anybody listen to me? Kind of.
I just want to go to Tashi Station.
You're never gonna let that one go.
Never. I can't deal.
But that's the thing is, we see those parallels between him and Luke.
I know
that growth.
The whiny boys of Star Wars.
Except we just didn't get Luke when he was 9. So so we get a little bit longer Anakin in that phase. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. Like I said, I tolerate Luke's because I understand its story. And same thing with Anakin, its story. We're getting the young side of him, that we need in order to grow and develop Anakin as a person and as he becomes Vader. Because throughout this movie, and even one really big moment through this movie too, we get to see Anakin struggle with a lot of things, really. There was a really a handful of times, probably at least 3 or 4 that I can count, that I knew I was paying attention to for sure, where Obi-Wan was like, careful of your thoughts. At one point he was saying careful of your thoughts because he was dreaming about Padme, I think, or something like that, and I think he was kind of talking about how love is forbidden, you can't have attachments. And there was another one too.
Betray you, I think is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And there was another one too. I just don't remember what he was talking about. But he said it a second time. Really, it was almost just like a 10-minute difference. I feel like where he said these both like back to back, like mindful of your thoughts. And I think it was because he was about to.
There you can be expelled from the order and everything.
Well, that was a little bit later after Padme fell off the train. Not train. After she fell off the helicopter thing.
In the same essence of the whole thing, because obviously, you gotta think that Obi-Wan knows something's up.
The
and
boy.
Then he sent them on a weekend getaway together.
Oh, oh my God! Like this boy was lusting after this lady, and you gonna send them on a weekend vacation? Are you stupid?
It's almost like they wanted them to.
Right. I knew they got together, and I think Obi-Wan was the one that was like, I'm not sure if he's ready for this. And then Yoda and Windu were like, he is. He's got to be.
Yeah. We don't have a choice kind of thing.
Right.
Is what it is.
So silly, though. So silly. I didn't even think about it like that. They did send him on like a weekend vacation. All expenses paid.
And then they get upset with him because, well.
You sent him away with a beautiful woman. And a handsome little braid boy.
Little braid boy.
I hate his stupid braid. Cut it off. I couldn't stop staring at it through the whole movie. It was just there bothering me.
And then I was telling you, imagine what it looked like unbraided.
Curly.
Make it even worse. Just one long strand of hair.
He'd be like, is it Pablo?
Pablo.
Who is it that like has the long brown hair that rides like the white horse? Fabio?
Yeah.
Be like Fabio with that little braid, just blowing the wind.
All of his locks are held up in that one braid.
Yeah, exactly. And he'd just let it down, and his hair would just fly, and then he would like, it'd be like that slow-mo of him like looking over at Padme, and she'd be like, he's so gorgeous.
To be in your mind. But anyways.
That's why I do podcasts with you. I give all our awesome friends a little ride in the Kristen brain.
It's a fun ride.
You get to live it every day. You don't sound very thrilled.
I'm very thrilled. It makes life interesting.
It does.
But yeah, so my first impressions with it, 'cause I've seen it multiple times. It actually, back in the day, was one of my favorites as well.
Back in the day,
when it first came out.
Why is it not now?
Well, no. So it's not that it's not one of my favorites. Like I don't like it any less than any of the other ones. But I don't know. It's there's something different to it. For me, the action's cool, all that kind of stuff. I think my favorite part of it is the development with Anakin, especially when he goes to find his mom and everything. Especially the nasty looks he gives the Lars family when he comes back with her. Dude.
Oh, I got a theory.
You got a theory? What's
I got
that
a theory. Darth Vader totally sent Boba Fett to disintegrate them.
I think there's canon against your theory, but
there is, but it's fine. Like I don't really care what's canon at this point.
This
like
is your
it's
head canon?
This is my head canon. Yeah, he's still salty, y'all.
Yeah.
He's still. I was about to make a sand joke, but I couldn't think of anything but Sandy, and it just didn't sound right.
You mean he might be a little irritated?
I was gonna say that, of course, but it just didn't sound like it was gonna come out right. So it's fine though. But yeah, he's a little angry at the Lars still because they let his mama like stay gone for a month, and he went and found her, and she was alive. So they could have went and found her, forever ago. But I guess they tried. Only 4 came back out of the 30s.
Right.
So, and then he's wheelchair bound now because he's missing a leg. So I give him props a little bit because he did try. And I didn't realize
he literally risked life and limb.
Literally. And I didn't realize this until we just watched it this last time, that was why he was missing a leg.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't put that together.
I
didn't. I think I just thought he was wheelchair bound.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he had to pay for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why he needed help on the moisture farm. You're ridiculous. It wasn't that funny.
On the moisture farm, Danny.
That's what it is. It's a moisture farm. I'm not joking. Like, do you not remember that in A New Hope?
Farm?
The moisture evaporators? It's a moisture farm.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's how they get water on Tatooine.
Oh, I remember. It was just funny.
But anyways, yeah. So I mean, like everything was with Anakin's story, like just the anger and then him giving in for the first time.
Ooh.
I still don't understand though why Padme didn't just like take off running.
Well, so I've seen the movie a couple times. This is probably my third or fourth time watching it, I think. Right? What do you say?
I think so.
At least third. At least minimum third. And I feel like in that conversation after he gets back and he's like, Padme walks in, she's all like, "Are you okay, Annie?" And he's like, "I like fixing things. It makes me feel better." His life was simpler when he was fixing things. Whatever. Yeah. That was more to the story, but my version was funnier, it's fine.
I relate to that.
Okay. Once he kind of starts talking about what he did and he admits it, I think, you can really, I know I did, maybe you didn't, but I really felt the, like, regret, I think. Okay. And the, like, how he was upset with himself for letting himself, do what he did, essentially, because he essentially was like, I slaughtered them all.
But it's not like he just got angry, though. There's that. It's not like, oh, I gave in to anger, Padme. I hate them. It was, I killed them. I killed them all. Not just the men, but the women and the children, too. Like, he full on went he lost it. Which, I get it. I completely understand. Not validating it, but at the same time, like, that was his mom. That's all he had in the universe. The only thing he had left in the universe, as far as what he loved and he was attached to and everything. Yes, he loves Padme, but it's not the same, though. The love you have for your mother is different than anybody else. And so it's just, I don't know, like, Padme, either she was like, oh, I can fix you, or I don't know, but I don't understand why she wasn't like, we need to call the proper authorities. Any more theories?
I don't know. I just think
So putting yourself in Padme's shoes, I'm not a murderer, but putting yourself in Padme's shoes, would you have stood there to comfort him and help him out?
Probably.
It wouldn't have mortified you that he just slaughtered an entire tribe of snow people?
Annie is bae. No, he's not. But that braid, though.
Oh, it's hypnotizing, isn't it?
It is. That's all I can think about now. Is that...
Is it haunting? Does it put you in agony?
Kind of does, actually.
That's another thing in this
I don't want to live a lie, Annie. Can't live a lie with that stupid braid. I'm just kidding.
That was another thing that it still cracks me up. Like,
it does. It definitely has its moments where like you can't take it too serious. I feel like, because he's like, I'm in agony, I'm in pain. It's almost like they just turned into like a Shakespeare play or something. It's like, hold up, slow down.
Well, and that's the thing is, in writing-wise, like, I mean, and George Lucas has never claimed to be a amazing writer, but, like, I get what he's doing. I get what they mean. So
it was very straightforward and to the point.
The point gets across.
It does. There was no hinting around the bush for that one.
Like, you're tortured. You're in agony.
Right.
Like, are we sure this is love? Or even attraction?
Y'all might need to separate.
Like, it reminds me of the meme where it's got Padme aggressively presses a panic button.
Oh my gosh. No, I mean, yeah, like, it definitely gets straight to the point. So, there's just not. It's not a super. I mean, it should be a really super serious moment, but I couldn't take it super serious just because of the way he like says it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like I'm in agony. What?
I feel like that would be like a Kylo Ren thing to do too. I'm an agony. I'm tortured.
Stop it. Stop it. And you'd have to put that line in that scene where he only has his waisty pants or whatever they are. His like high-waisted pants. No shirt.
The thought of you haunts me.
Stop it. We're done with this. Goodbye.
But I mean, that aside, I really do like Anakin and Padme's romance through this whole thing.
No, I do too.
Because you can actively see her trying to resist, as far as like it's not the right thing. Like, she knows it's not right, but then there's the part of she doesn't want to deny it. And so there's moments where she slips into it, like when they're in the field and everything, and he's like making fun of her with the democracy thing, which he kind of wasn't making fun of her. He was pretty serious because that's exactly foreshadowing. But at the same time, like, she's like, "You're making fun of me, aren't you?" And he's like kind of flirting and stuff, and I'm like, "All right, Jedi man, go ahead, do your thing."
Flirt.
And then he gets his first kiss and all that good stuff. So
the kiss that haunts him.
Haunts him,
Is that
yeah.
what he says?
It's haunting.
The haunting kiss that never should have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, Addie!
Oh my god.
Can I just say too how funny it was that they got so mad at each other too a couple times because I can't even breathe because it's so funny. So like when they first see each other and he's like, I hadn't seen her in 10 years and she doesn't even know that she's all I've been thinking about. He gets so mad.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she's just like nonchalant, like, meh. Okay.
Super friend zone.
Right. And then she's like,
You'll always be that boy on Tatooine.
oh my gosh, yes.
Like,
Shade. So much shade. Which was so funny. And then I thought it was a little creepy that he was like, I've been dreaming about you, Padme.
You don't tell a girl that.
You don't. Nope. I'd be like, occasionally you pop up. Maybe. Nope. That was a daydream, my bad. Wait. No, that was a forced dream. Sorry. Like, it was...
A little bit more vivid.
Right. It was just a forced thing. I don't even remember it that well, so moving on.
Yeah.
Like, I want to figure out how to cover that up a little bit, but he was not ashamed.
Anakin's poster boy of things not to do in a relationship. However, it did work for him.
It did, oddly. But one of my favorite parts, though, I think that really almost had me on the ground rolling was when Annie's with her and they're back in Naboo and they're sitting around the
throne room?
The throne room, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting in the throne room and it's like Padme, the new queen, a few like high officials or whatever you want to call them. They're all up there and she the queen asks Padme something, and she kind of just go ahead and makes like an assumption for herself that they're gonna go up the mountain into one of the like empty houses or something. Mm-hmm. And Anakin's like, "My lady, but I'm in charge of your security." She's like, "Excuse me," and just keeps talking. He's just like holding his tongue behind her, like, this girl though, like, and then like he was like, "I'm sorry, my lady."
Yeah. They said "milady" a lot in like a 10-minute span.
They did. It must have been like the fancy word then, like "my lady."
I don't
my lady.
know.
My lady.
It started to sound like a little sarcastic every
it
time.
Did. It did. It was almost like it was that little like burn at the end where you're just like, my lady. Just like when you make somebody mad, like when they walk off and you call them a big head or something. Like when you get you mad, Danny, you start walking away, I just go, big head. I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
That's okay. I've been called worse, so it's fine.
Big head was kind of nice, though.
Oh, is it nice? Is big head nice? Anyways, moving on. But yeah, so I mean, their whole relationship, like, I mean, it's a strange one for sure.
It is.
Starting out and everything, but I mean, I don't know. It's still charming.
It
even has its theme song. So what did you think about when she finally admitted that she loved him right before the Coliseum? Right before they were to die?
What is up with the ladies of Star Wars admitting their love for their significant others before they die? Padme did it before they went into the arena thinking they were going to die. Leia did it to Han before he got in carbonite. And I don't know if there's another one, honestly.
No.
But it's like always before they're about to die, they're like, oh, I love you. I just need to let you know I love you. You might die, I love you.
I love the look on Anakin's face, though. He's like, you do? Why now?
Right.
Why did you wait?
Right.
Like, he has, like, this distraught, like, I'm gonna die, and a woman loves me. Like, it finally happened,
I'm still gonna die a virgin!
No! Oh, my goodness.
The braid!
Well, moving on from the focal romance of the whole thing.
Yes. Where are you going? Because I've got something.
Go for it.
So can we just talk about how Jar Jar just ruined everything?
Of course.
So how played was that conversation though when Palpatine and his little blue friend
Masameda.
Yep, him. He's gonna be blue friend because I don't remember that.
Blue friend. Sure.
His blue friend. And they were talking about how it'd be great if he could just take rule or something. I don't remember the exact term for it, but essentially if they could just give all the power to
yeah, if Palpatine could be the one to make the choice and they didn't have to wait for everyone to vote on it and all that other kind of stuff.
And they were like, wow, what senator would be brave enough to do that? And then he was like, only if Padme was here, or Miss Amidala, or whoever, Senator Amidala was here.
Yeah.
And then you got Jar Jar back there like...
Which is not something that she would ever go for.
Right! But you got freaking Jar Jar, who's like, back there like, oh no, Misa. Misa.
But so the thing with that is, so yes, his action ended up really kicking off things poorly, but at the same time, you can't necessarily blame him. He was absolutely set up for that.
You know he was.
Jar Jar, I mean, we know Jar Jar's maturity. He has the mind of a child. Like, it's very easily influenced.
He is.
And so, with all that, I mean, like you said, it was obviously a staged conversation.
It was. I mean, it most definitely was.
Even Palpatine looks like, if only Senator Amidala was here.
Right. I mean,
like, if only I could have that last piece of ice cream.
Last piece of ice cream?
I don't know. Scoop of ice cream. Whatever.
Last piece of cake.
If only
or
someone
last
would let
cookie.
me have that last piece of cake.
You're ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure I've pulled that on my brothers and sisters before, so...
Sounds like something you do.
Probably.
It's probably because you watched Star Wars too much as a kid.
Hey, trying that Jedi mind trick.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
I still love that.
Yeah.
That makes me bust out laughing every time when they're in like the Star Wars Buffalo Wild Wings. And
oh my gosh, that was so funny. There were like 3 giant TVs with like 3 sports going on. And you were just like, hey, it's the Star Wars Buffalo Wild Wings. And I was like, you. And I was just kind of mad that I didn't think of it first, but it's okay. I think I had funny other commentary though. I just, you know what kind of bothers me too throughout this movie? Is the fact that like the Jedi seem so out of touch, I guess.
Okay.
Because, well, the whole time they're like, it's foggy. I don't know. My vision's cloudy. I don't know.
You're missing a planet. I don't know.
I don't know. Right. Like, I don't know. They just seem so out of the know of everything, and it really bothers me that they're supposed to be like this higher beings throughout the galaxy, and they're supposed to be, I mean, I don't want to say like feared, you know, but at the same time, like, they're like a force to be reckoned with.
Well, there's somebody everyone looks to.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet they're all like sitting on their little happy chairs meditating, and they're like, I don't see anything. Like, I don't know, your vision's cloudy.
Even Mace Windu at one point, I mean, he's like, well, we might want to inform the Chancellor that we can't use the Force anymore. Like, we've lost our ability to access the Force.
Right, but like, what gets me is, I guess, I don't know, like, it kind of bothered me that no one even, like, tried to fix it, I guess. Like, they were all just content and fine with the fact that they just couldn't see certain things. And that certain things were cloudy.
Except for Yoda. Yoda's the only one that, and personally, I feel he's the only one that I feel he's trying to get to the bottom of it. Even though he's not actively going out investigating, he's also like, this puzzle's getting a little crazy. Like, things are shaping up and something's off.
I mean, I feel
it's like he's the only one that's clued into what's happening, and everyone else is just kind of like, well, I guess the Force left us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of a little indifferent about that. I feel like Yoda was kind of talking the talk, but he wasn't walking the walk.
Okay.
Like, I feel like there was several instances where he was like, would be like, oh, I'll sit and meditate on that, or I'll get to the bottom of it, but we never, which I mean, I guess it'd be a really long movie if we saw Yoda walk around everywhere trying to figure it out, because the man's a slow walker. He has a cane, for crying out loud. So I mean, yes, it would have been much longer than a 2-hour, 11-minute movie. But I don't know, there just wasn't much action to it, even if it would have been like him, you know, like how it kind of zoomed across the galaxy to different people. Like, if it had been something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just was kind of disappointed that they were so easily, like, taken about, I guess. That it was just that easy to kind of swipe in there. And it's like, they just, their judgment was kind of cloudy, I guess. Or, like, their visions were cloudy, so they were just kind of like, eh.
Well, and I feel like that, I mean, as we see, it leads to the Jedi's downfall as well. The whole council as a whole, the organization overall, it allows everything to happen because Palpatine has a hand in everything.
Right, he does. And so, I mean, I'm not trying to say, like, the Jedi are, you know, completely at fault. Like, it's all their fault that everything happened.
They're almost rendered useless in some ways.
Right, and that's what bothered me, I think, the most. Is, like, things could have been different, or things could have happened if they just would have stood up and been like, okay, something's wrong, we gotta get to the bottom of this, like, right now. Because, I mean... Well,
so, and I wonder, so this is a theory that, well, not a theory, but this is as an explanation I'd heard from Brian Young. I think it was one of his Twitter things that he was talking about midichlorians at one point. And so, like, you know how everybody, when you say midichlorians, people cringe and everything. It's like, oh gosh. Well, with the midichlorians and everything, like, that was how they registered, like, the Force. So it's almost as if they... And I see this too, but it's the Jedi, they look more to the science of the Force rather than just trusting the Force. And I feel like if they would have trusted the Force, as in the spiritual side of it that they access and everything, rather than the scientific of it either works or it doesn't, then I feel like then they would have had more, I guess, gumption and to go do something about it.
Okay.
No. I know the Force wouldn't leave me. I know this wouldn't happen to us. We need to figure out what's causing us not to be able to see what we're supposed to be seeing.
It was kind of like an off and on for them. Like, if they didn't, they were kind of like, oh, okay, it's cool. Like,
which
it's
is
just
why
not...
I feel like Yoda didn't completely buy into it. Especially, like, with Jocasta Nu in the library. If it's not in our records, it doesn't exist.
Right.
It's the arrogance of the Jedi at this point, where they know everything.
Right.
They know about everything in the entire universe. So if it's not in our records, it doesn't exist.
But yet there was a clone army being built
under your nose.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had no idea.
That, not even just the clones, but like at the end of the movie, you see an entire shipyard full of the Star Destroyer. Well, they're the assault cruisers at that point, but the future Star Destroyers and all this other kind of stuff. Like, it wasn't just that it was an army being built. Like, there were actual machines and weaponry being built under your noses.
Right.
Like, all of this just kind of happened, and everybody's like, cool. What a perfect timing.
Right.
This just happens to come up at the right time. It's like, what are you people doing?
Which is crazy, too, because, I mean, so, you know, when we get to go to Camino, like, you realize, like, they're actually babies that they're, like, cloning, kind of, but they're not, like... They have to grow them. So, obviously, these clones take what? Probably roughly 18, 16, 20 years?
Well, no, they're accelerated growth. So they actually, they grow in half the time. So they mature in almost half the time, yeah.
It's about 10?
Probably.
So, for
about 5 years, 5 to 10
well,
years,
yeah, it
something
had to be
like
about that, because that's when that guy died.
Years. Yeah.
No, that's when that guy
10
died, though.
years. Yeah.
So it was at least 10 years. At least, at minimum, 10 years this clone army has been growing. Mm-hmm. And these fools had no idea.
Yep.
So you're, like, and then Obi-Wan was like, I thought, what's his face? I don't remember his name.
Sifo-Dyas?
Yes, Sifo-Dyas. I thought he died, like 10 plus years ago or something like that. You know, that's the story I was told or something funky like that. And it's like, you were somebody for 10 years. You were just that out of tune with the Force. But you had no idea Kamino would exist. No idea that there was literally an army growing.
Yeah. But I mean, it reveals all the shortcomings of the Jedi at the time and everything. Because they got away from believing in the Force and trusting in the Force as the Force rather than trying to dissect why the Force. You know?
Right.
Instead of just,
no,
it is.
Yeah, no,
you know
that makes sense.
Which
like,
I'm not against Discovery, but in this instance, I feel like the Discovery took place of what the Force really truly was to them at one point.
Right.
And they lost almost that relationship and that connection, that true connection. And when all of a sudden it started fading and getting foggy and everything, it was just kind of like all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, I guess it doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Guess we can't use it anymore. Like, that's a thing?
The batteries must be low.
Yeah. Somebody turned the power off.
Right. I mean, no, I totally get what you're saying, and it makes sense as to why, like, that viewpoint of it makes sense as to why they were kind of like, oh, okay, like, it's cool, like, brush it off, maybe we'll be back later kind of thing. But, I don't know, that's, like, you know, what I kind of talked about with it was kind of what bothered me about it. It was just kind of like the unwillingness to figure it out. And it just kind of like everything just happened right under their noses, and they were just blind, like completely blind. Like they could all just been Kanans.
Kanan could still technically see that.
Technically,
that's even worse.
Technically, Kanan probably would have had a little bit more.
He still was better off,
right? So that's true.
Yeah,
it's true. That was kind of a mean joke. I'm sorry. It was the only blind Jedi I could think of. I'm very sorry.
I think he's the only one I could think of too.
Yeah.
It's canon. Ram Koda, he was in the Force Unleashed game. He was blinded by Starkiller? Vader? I can't remember which one. I don't know. It's been a long, long time since I played that game. But he's not canon. So, yes, canon.
Don't care.
Ram Koda's cool. But anyways.
Don't care.
If it ain't canon, it ain't right, huh?
Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
So if it's not in your archives, it doesn't exist?
Oh! Precisely. I know, that lady, I swear, if I'd have been a Jedi, I just would have picked up a book and threw it at her. Ooh, she made me so mad with that little tone she had. She had that little tone. She's like...
Very haughty, very full of herself.
Yes,
yeah.
If it's not in the archives, it doesn't exist. I seriously would have chunked like 5 books at her head. Use the Force now. You see that coming? You see that one coming? How about this one? Kind of like, can you hear me now?
You're ridiculous.
Seriously. She just made me so mad with that little attitude she had. Like, excuse you, Betty.
So what did you think of the final battle at the end of the movie between our little green friend and Darth Tyrannus?
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Close.
Oh. Yeah. So I'm just not gonna lie to you. That's probably one of my least favorite battles.
Really?
Yeah.
The one between Yoda and Dooku, or are you talking about the one between Dooku and Anakin and Obi-Wan?
The whole thing.
Okay.
The whole thing. I mean, Yoda's pretty powerful. Mm-hmm. Give him that. He's very strong, as is Dooku, that we learn. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's just not a very good battle to me, I think. Like, Obi-Wan loses because he gets sliced in the arm and in the leg, and he's like, I'm down. Oh, no.
Because Anakin won't just be patient. Like, he's all hopped up and angry.
I'm gonna get him now!
Because Padme got chunked out of the LAAT.
Right.
And so, at the gunship, and so he's all hopped up, angry, and ready to go.
I know.
He's like, you go to the left, I'll take him here. No, I'm taking him now. It's like, cool, bro. This is why we had a game plan.
Right. Oh, I swear Obi-Wan just should have been like, you're an idiot.
I'm sure there's a lot of times
I'm
where he
sure.
was like, yeah, totally.
Patience, young Padawan. But yes, no, that part was funny. But I don't know, like, Obi-Wan ends up down because he gets a little slice in the arm and the leg, and he's like, oh no, I'm crippled. And then you get Stupid Head over there who lost half his arm. Oh my god, like, Anakin, like, got electrocuted
Started
first.
the Skywalker curse.
Right, literally. He just lost a lot more arm. Like, he lost way more arm than the rest of them.
That's true.
We're just gotta wait for Kylo now. Kylo's turn to lose an arm. Or a hand.
Episode 9 still hadn't been
I know.
finished yet. So.
I swear. If y'all do that, I'm just gonna, like, start a hand drive or something. I don't know.
The circle is complete.
I don't know. Something's gotta happen, though.
Prosthetics for Skywalkers.
Right. I'm gonna go around, like, with some fake hands or something. I'm like, extra hands. Got your extra hands. Literally. And I'm gonna go around to all the, if you dress up as Anakin or Luke, I'm gonna come bring you a hand. Be prepared.
Celebration idea. There you
right.
go.
But
I really enjoyed the Yoda fight. That's actually one of my favorite battles next to Obi-Wan and Maul.
Really?
Yeah, like after Qui-Gon goes down and everything and Obi-Wan's like going just ham on him. Like, I love when, like, the whole choreography is just so cool looking to me.
It is
and
cool.
And then with Yoda, like, I love that battle. It's just really cool seeing Yoda flipping around and going nuts on it and everything.
I mean,
because like it's almost like I can imagine Dooku trying to fight him, where it's almost like trying to poke him with a stick. He won't stop moving.
Get back! Get back, you foul creature! Back! Away from me, Green Goblin.
But I mean, like, I feel like it would be hard to keep up with him because
No,
he's
I
all
mean,
over
I agree.
the place. But
I agree. I'm not gonna say like
visually, I think it looks really cool, and
Okay.
I like the back and forth of the knowledge of the Force. Obviously, we can't settle this by the knowledge of the Force.
so we will lightsaber battle.
But yeah, so
I just feel like it was really like cliche, I guess. There.
do you?
Yeah, it was like, so we kind of match with the Force. So let's see whose lightsaber skills are better. Like, all right, so our thumb wrestling skills, we're both pretty good. So we're gonna try rock paper scissors now.
Oh, okay.
Let's see who wins on that one. All right.
I'll admit that the setup of all of that was a little. It's obvious that we cannot win by our wits of the Force,
Right.
So we must settle this by our mastery of the lightsaber. It's just like, I didn't need the narrative. Like,
Right.
we could just do this. So.
Right, you could just like jumped in the battle there, like it just
Yeah.
didn't need that extra little hump.
I
And then
get that.
I think the thing that kind of got me too is like Dooku was trying to like throw all this stuff at Yoda, and Yoda's just like, huh.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, it's not like the worst battle, but it just wasn't my favorite. Like that's one of those ones I kind of just sit there and watch. I'm just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
oh okay, oh there goes his arm, oh okay, and throw and throw and throw. Oh, and he's gone. Dooku's gone. All right, he got away.
While we're on the subject, my top 3 lightsaber battles would probably be Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan versus Maul.
I can agree.
Yeah. The fight on Starkiller between Rey and Kylo, the first fight. I'm not counting the throne room scene because lightsabers never clashed in that, so it's not a lightsaber fight.
Okay,
It's a fight, but I
wouldn't
just wanted
even
to
be-
point that out in case somebody's like, "What about the throne room scene?" Yes, it was amazing, but it wasn't a lightsaber battle technically. But actually,
as he pushes his glasses up on his head.
but the one on Starkiller, just because I love when he's trying to pull the lightsaber and then it flies past him and then it's all her and it's like all of a sudden the Force is just flowing through her just raw. It's just really cool. And then the Yoda one, I think. So yeah, side journey.
I don't know if I have a top 3. I can think of 2. So I can agree with you with them all. I really like that scene. Actually, I think I can think of 3.
Let's hear it.
My next one probably be Maul and Palpatine in Clone Wars.
Ooh, okay.
That one's really good. That one's got some really creepy moves in it. And then
Oh, see, I wasn't including animated. I was playing.
Oh.
That would definitely be a top 3 for sure.
well, one of my other
But
ones is in
anyways,
the
go
movies too. And then I have to say Vader and Luke,
ahead. Ooh, okay.
even though Luke is losing his hand again. Or
So
not again.
you're talking
but,
Empire or Return of the Jedi? Because they fight twice.
where's the one where Vader starts throwing stuff at him?
Empire.
Okay. It's kind of funny to me. It's kind of funny. He's like, bam! Bam! Ooh! Bam! Ooh! It cracks me up. He just starts chunking stuff at him like, get away from me, boy! Back! I like it. We should put the TV on mute one day, and we should just like commentate.
I'm down. We'll do a commentary on them. I've never done a commentary. I guess kind of we're doing that now. I don't know. That's probably not the same thing.
It's probably not, but I think y'all would enjoy mine. I feel like I can be pretty witty.
We'll just Kristen watches Star Wars and then have commentate.
But I'm sorry, it can't be live because I have to like rewind it and start over sometimes. So it'll probably just be like clips. I think maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it'd be funny though.
I'd agree for sure. But yeah, so I'm trying to think what else in Attack of the Clones. So there's a lot in Attack of the Clones. So
there was once we kind of got done watching and talking, and even now, we were thinking, and our whole series so far has been solo but man, this one was hard. We couldn't really find any solo related
that were just
information
in their face or anything.
Yeah, and I think it's just because we're so far back, right, compared to where Solo is at this point. Because obviously the Clone Wars is way over at that point.
Yeah.
So we just don't have any of that going on. But I mean, the love story, I guess, was probably one of the better parts of it. But even in Solo, I don't feel like we got a whole bunch of like love story like we did in Attack of the Clones. So,
and it really wasn't like Anakin and Padme's love story at all anyway. So I mean, all it is there was a love story.
Yeah, there was a lot of agony.
There's a lot of agony. A lot of torture.
A lot of torture and
lots
agony.
Of haunting.
Yes. Not much kissing. I'm just kidding.
Scarcity of sand. No.
I'm scared of sand.
I don't like sand.
Man, that's why I was so mad that Padme fell in it.
Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding.
I could have triggered him right there.
Right. Triggered. I have to go get her! Get in the sand! Stop this plane right now!
This is madness!
It's close! And it gets everywhere! And I'm gonna have to hug her later! And it's gonna be everywhere on me!
Oh my god.
I'm gonna find a meme now, and I'm gonna put triggered. And it's gonna be like the scene of her falling out of the plane, and then I'm gonna find like a funny face of Anakin. He's gonna be like just a really big like stupid smile or something, or not smile, but like he's where he's like.
Well,
fuming.
and there was sand in Solo, so.
Oh. You did it.
I did it. Did I connect Solo to Attack of the Clones?
You connected Solo to Attack of the Clones.
Man.
Why didn't we think of this sooner?
Oh my goodness. Well, another thing actually that Todd at WSTR Media, he had posted something on Instagram that I didn't actually realize. So Kit Fisto, he is the Jedi that you actually like. You kind of giggled at when he pushes C-3PO when he's with when he's on the droid body and everything.
Yeah,
and he kind of just smiles and walked away. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he is actually from Glean Selm, which is where Beckett wanted to retire to play the Valacord.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that connection, I guess. But
tiny.
Very, very tiny. There's small threads, but I think the biggest thing to take away from Attack of the Clones and how it affects Solo and everything is that this is the beginning of the shaping of Han's world. Because he lives in an Imperial shipyard, basically. Corellia is there making the Star Destroyers, and I mean, it's a shipyard for the Empire. And so the beginning of the Clone Wars starts the shaping of the entire galaxy, and particularly Corellia, because that's where they end up based. That's where they end up building the Star Destroyers and everything. So, I mean, in all honesty, I think it's more of a overall, this is the beginning of that new era. And I say new, and that sounds positive, but it's not. But
it's not.
But I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I could take away from it, as far as like, because the war is what shapes Corellia, and it is what shapes the galaxy overall. And it even drives Han into the academy and all that kind of stuff, where he actually trains as a trooper and he's a mud trooper himself and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's just constant war in the stars. It's like a Star War.
Oh, wow. You found the whole title of the movies.
But yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing to take away from it as far as Solo and
Yeah.
business.
I agree. Well, do you have any last final comments about our Attack of the Clones?
I actually did, because there was something that while we were watching it that we had noticed was the back and forth and the sarcasm from Obi-Wan.
Oh my gosh, and Obi-Wan wonders why Anakin's a little twerp. You did it, Annie.
Anakin and
Or not
Padme.
Annie.
Oh, I'm
Obi-
sorry,
Obi.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, Obi-Wan and Padme shape Anakin's
They really
personality.
do. Like, all he does is, like, be a little smart aleck to him. And he's like, just like, I'm sorry, Master. Yes, Master.
I'll try harder, Master.
And then you got Padme over there who's like, and he's like trying to follow the rules. He's like, Mace told me to stay here. And he's like, well, she's like, well, you can, but I'm going after Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you're supposed to protect me, so I guess that means you're going wherever I'm going.
Right, we're just going to
It's like
bend the
bending
rules.
the rules and
yeah.
everything. Yeah, which is that's what Anakin
You're
ends up doing
technically
throughout
still-
the entire Clone Wars animated series.
Right.
And everything.
It's like, you're still technically doing what you're supposed to be doing, but we're going to kind of...
Loophole.
Right. Just gonna... Okay, here we go. Boop. Choo.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the people around him that shaped him.
I want to point out, too, I think actually I found something else that ties into Solo. They said parsecs.
Ah,
Two
yes.
times. One, it was actually 12 parsecs, is when that guy was saying where Kamino was.
Okay.
When Obi-Wan went to go figure out what that dart.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, he said it's about 12 parsecs. And I was like, okay. I pointed to it. I was like, ooh, and you must not have been listening. And then on the part we just talked about, where
Yeah.
Mace was like, Annie, stay where
Only
you
a
are.
parsec away.
Yeah, stay with Padme. And she's like, it's only 2 parsecs away. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So, and that was the second time I remember them saying parsecs. So maybe it's mentioned somewhere else, but that's the first time I feel like I've noticed it in the movie so far as we've been going through, other than in Solo and
That's the only other time that I recall actually hearing it is in A New Hope when Han bragged,
Right.
and then now. So yeah,
Right.
Okay. Good catch.
Thank
there you go.
Thank you. Not the same, I think, but
Yeah.
still, just a small, like how you thought of little Jedi man and Beckett.
Yeah. So cool. I think
take
that
pride in
wraps
it.
it up. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I'm pumped about our next Solo and
Oh yes. You want to go ahead and tell them what it is?
Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Pretty excited. It's one of my favorite movies. So I'm going to make sure I pay really close attention and bring y'all lots of fun stuff.
Oh yes.
Really excited about we hadn't really talked about it much, but I know I mention it just about every episode, I feel like, because I find something in it that relates is, we're just going through the Clone Wars too, watching. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm excited to keep doing that. And also, y'all.
You're getting closer to the end.
Right, I am. And then, y'all, Clone Wars is saved. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah.
Super pumped. I'm really excited about all the publishings that are coming out, all the new books that we're getting. Thrawn came out the 24th, so I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not,
Yeah,
but
Thrawn Alliances, yeah.
yeah, so if you haven't gotten it, go get it, guys. I don't have it either, though, so
We'll be
send me a
getting it
copy.
soon for sure, because
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that book.
Yeah, we sure will. But yeah, I mean that's it that I had. If you don't have anything else, then
Well, I did want to actually reveal what we're talking about next week. So the Solo and the Revenge of the Sith is 2 weeks from now, because we're gonna have one thing in between.
My bad.
We're gonna be talking about Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order, the wrong Jedi. I think is what the actual series is called. So get your tissues ready, guys. It's gonna be a rough one.
yeah,
But yeah, so Ahsoka is going to be the focal point next week with the wrong Jedi.
yeah,
And that whole arc and everything. So that'll be devastating.
it will be.
Because you haven't actually seen that one yet, I don't think. You may have seen pieces of it. I think.
I think I may have seen pieces, but not the whole thing. So
But yeah, very, very exciting stuff. And
Yeah.
so cool. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up.
yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. So thank you for listening to another episode of Kessel Run Weekly. We really appreciate you guys joining us week to week. We love hearing back from you. Lots of cool back and forth online and everything. Letting us know what your favorite parts are and that you're enjoying the show. We got a lot of cool comments here lately and everything.
Yeah.
We love when you laugh at our cheesy jokes and tell us that you love the cheesy jokes
we
too.
do.
So.
We love being silly, as you can tell.
We try not to take ourselves too seriously.
No.
Because Star Wars is fun. Like, I mean, there's a whole lot of the seriousness in Star Wars. There's a lot to be learned, a lot of lessons and everything, but at its core, it's fun.
Right.
And that's what we want to keep it as, positive and fun.
It's meant to be enjoyed, and that's
Absolutely.
what we do. We enjoy it. We enjoy ourselves as we watch it, as we talk about it, as we just theorize about it. So, we just want to have fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, you can check us out on social media at Kessel Run Weekly on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on our website, kesselrunweekly.com. Hopefully we'll be getting some more articles and stuff like that up. I wrote a couple of them a while back and then just was like, I fell off the wagon. So I'm trying to get our website to where it's a one-stop shop for you guys.
Yeah. Maybe what would help is if we knew what they wanted to hear.
Oh.
Maybe.
I like it. I
don't know. Do you guys like reviews? Or would you rather it just be like news? Would that be easier? Would you rather just read the news or
Let
something?
us know what you want.
Yeah.
There's a nifty little box on our website
Sure
where you can
is.
actually send us an email directly from KesselRunWeekly.com and let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear on the show, or even see on the site. Anything like that. If you want us to review something, send it our way. Let us know. We'll be happy to do it. 'Cause as long as it's Star Wars, we love Star Wars. So.
Yeah.
So cool, guys. So again, thank you for listening to another episode. And until next week, where we explore Ahsoka and the Wrong Jedi, I am Danny.
And I'm Kristen.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.